Alright, welcome back to another market recap. In this video, we're going to be reviewing the market for today, Monday, September 16th, 2024. We're going to talk about what happened, what trades you could have taken. We have some trades from Dodgy. We have some trades from me. And I didn't see anyone else post anything on Twitter, so just going to be trades from me and trades from Dodgy, and then some commentary on the daily profile and what happened. So first, I'll say that today's daily profile was a bearish London reversal. So you can see here we had move sideways, push up in London into a high time frame key level, change the state of delivery, and then New York essentially has some kind of manipulation higher and then continuation down. So this bearish London reversal is also known as New York continuation. So you can see that during London we came down, we swept out Asia's lows. We came back up and targeted the other side of the range. We hit Asia's highs. Now we came above the true daily open here, and at which point we started our bearish London reversal. Came back down, and we were targeting this, which was the previous day's low. So this was previous day's low. This was the drawn liquidity. Previous day's low. So on my live stream, I said right here that this would be the drawn liquidity, this previous day's low. We came down, we took out previous day's low. We pushed into this 4-hour for value gap, and then also this 4-hour order block. So you can see first, the first area we went to was this 4-hour for value gap. Then we pushed into this 4-hour order block. Now, when New York opened, we had accumulation, manipulation, down to this 4-hour for value gap, distribution back up, sweeping the previous hour's high. So this was the previous hour's high. And then reversal. Now, it's important to realize that this is manipulation, but in reality, today was a New York continuation day. So with that in mind, you should have been looking for a manipulation above the New York True Open into this area, and I'll re-add that trade in a second. But this is where you're looking for a continuation to go short, right? So manipulation up above the New York True Open, sweeping. Right when you see this previous hour's high get swept like this, you know something's up, that we're likely gonna go and target this low. So there's a couple different entries you could have gotten in here. I'll show the entry that I took that wasn't that good, and I'll show you two really good entries, and then I'll show you some of Dodgy's entries. So we manipulate above the New York True Open, and the best entry you could have caught, in my opinion, was this 1 minute inverse for value gap. And you swept this high, and you'd also had swept previous hour's high. So this is pretty high probability. You're in premium. You swept this high, you swept this high, you swept previous hour's high, you swept this high. So inverse fair value gap, targeting this low, that gets you about a 3.73 to 1 risk reward trade. So that's pretty sweet. Now, this also was a breaker block entry, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to get rid of this New York True Open for now because we kind of get the idea. But if I zoom in, you can see that this is also a breaker block because this is this red candle is a high, low, higher high, sweeping some liquidity here, and then lower low. So this red candle is the bearish breaker block. And you can see it a lot more obvious if I go down in the lower time frame to the 15 second. If it'll load. Just waiting for it to load here. Okay. So it becomes a lot more obvious when you look at the lower time frame. You have this series of down close candles, so low, high, sweeping liquidity. Wait, no. High, low, higher high, sweeping liquidity. Remember, that's the most important part about a breaker block. It needs to sweep some form of liquidity, which it does. So then here's the series of down close candles. You get a push back up into this area. Becomes a lot more obvious on the lower time frame. So this is the 15 second. Boom. Entry right there. Stop loss above the high, or you can put it above the breaker block, just depending on your personal preference. And then targeting this low. And this is also like a 3.6 to 1 risk reward trade. And you can see this one was sniper entry. Perfect reaction off the breaker block. Boom. Straight down. And then we went and hit this 4-hour order block. So what else was I going to say about this? So yeah, you can see how this is a breaker block on the 1 minute as well. You push back into this breaker block, and then you take out all this low resistance liquidity. Now, yes, we had low resistance liquidity here, but what did it want to do first? It wanted to take out sell side one more time. This is also low resistance liquidity. So yes, this is low resistance liquidity, which this is what I was thinking. I was like, oh, this whole time I was like, this has to get ran. But look what got swept. What got swept? Previous hour's high, and then we went above the New York True Open, and then we went and took out this low resistance liquidity. So you have to understand, even though there's low resistance liquidity on the high time frame, on the low time frame, what's happening? We want to take out this low resistance liquidity because this is a high time frame market maker buy model. So what's going to happen? We need to sweep. We have to have some kind of internal sweep before we're going to reverse. And I'm guessing now, since we hit this 4-hour fair value gap, this 4-hour order block, I'm guessing now eventually we will come back and run this low resistance liquidity. But I will see if that happens. That might not happen, but that's just my guess. Could be wrong. It could be wrong. But I'm getting better every single day. Let's talk about Dodgy's trades. So, pulling up Dodgy's trades. He had the way. So I need to really learn from Dodgy because the way he trades is a lot more. I'm trying to think of how to put it. It's more fluid. Like, I'll show you what I mean. he entered right here. Let's see. Looks like he entered actually almost like, I might have to message him about this and see why he entered there, but in my guess is he waited for this inversion. This is my guess. My guess is he waited for this inversion, and then he took this on the 1 minute. Only thing is, I would have waited for this to inverse. Trying to figure out why he entered here. Not entirely sure. I'll ask him about that, but he had some kind of trade in here where you had either this fair value gap inversed or this fair value gap inversed, and coming out of this 4-hour fair value gap, he's targeting this high. Now here I was waiting for the 3 minute to inverse, so I thought I wanted to see this 3 minute inverse, and by the time the 3 minute inverse, we already took this internal high, so I was like, okay, I'm not going to take that. Then he took this short entry and targeted this low. So I'm guessing when this 1 minute gap inversed, he waited for this 1 minute gap to inverse, and then he entered like this and targeted this low. So that's a pretty simple trade, but it's like I said, he has a lot more understanding of what gaps inversing are going to lead to what liquidity being taken. So he understands that if this gap gets inversed, then this liquidity is going to get ran, and he was 100% right. So very cool. And then lastly, he has this trade where we have this gap that inverses, and then he scales half at this 1 minute fair value gap, and then I'm guessing he gets stopped to break even. So not a bad trade. So let's see. So coming off of this 4-hour order block, boom, you have this 1 minute inversion, and then it's a super tiny trade, but it works. He enters here, and within a minute, he's already at that 1 minute fair value gap. So that's a super small trade. He scaled half and then stopped to break even within the next minute. So yeah, seems fair enough. Seems fair enough. Cool. Well, let me refresh Twitter real quick and see if anyone else posted anything. Looks like we don't have any other trades. So thank you guys so much for watching this market recap. Hopefully you got something out of it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.